Yo, what up? It's your boy, I Sleep Too Late, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about a very, very useful tool that you can find on my website, hackmons.com. This tool is called the type coverage, and there's actually other websites that do something very similar to this. However, I think that we pretty much covered all our bases when it comes to hackmons, because I am someone who loves hacking Pokemon and playing solo battles on Battle Tower and doing some really good damage here. But if you want to figure out what the best output for your damaging moves are, and you don't know like what the field is, this tool could probably help you out, and it does a lot more than you think. So it's got all the types here for Generation 9. You can also select which generation you want, and it'll display the Pokemon for those generations when you click on a move type rather. So let's go to Generation 3 here, and let's say that I have a Pokemon that I'm going to hack, or not even hack. Let's say you just want to find coverage. And so you have a Pokemon with, like, let's say a fire move, a ground move, and you want to see how many Pokemon are super effective against those. So you can see here for Gen 3, right, you've got Pokemon that resist, and there's only 12 of them. But there's 173 that are super effective to these two moves, to these two attacking type moves, right? So that's going to give you some information here. And if it's like a resisted of 0.5, it'll show 0.5. If it's a quad resist, it'll show that as well. But for example, here in the super effective range, it shows that fire is quad super effective against Paris, Parasect. Magneton is quad for ground types, right? Because it's steel and electric. This is going to be useful for that, but something else that's really cool. So not only can you sort by generation, but you can also click on this button to see only the fully evolved Pokemon if you only care about fully evolved Pokemon. And then we have a little bit more advanced sorting features here with the advanced tag filters. So let's say you're playing, I don't know, Gen 3 OU, right? And you have a Pokemon that can learn Earthquake and Fire Blast, let's say. Let's say it's like Charizard. Okay, and you want to know how relevant these two attacks are, because you want to give your Charizard, I don't know, Dragon Dance, and you want to give it another move in the fourth slot, but you want to focus on Fire Blast and Earthquake, and you want to know how effective are these two attacking moves for your Charizard, right? And so this might not be that useful if you're playing OU, because there's a lot of Pokemon here that don't see play in OU, like Wingull. I mean, Ho-Oh and Rayquaza are like uber Pokemon, right? So like that wouldn't be very useful to you. So what you could do is you can actually, oh, by the way, you can click on neutral here and it'll show you all the neutral. They just usually leave neutral like hidden or minimized. But you can go to add filter here, right? And there's some sorting logic here. So and means you included, or means like and then not means you don't want to include those Pokemon. And then you've got the filters here, which I talked about in a previous video under the database. But the sorting logic here is the basically the tags that show up on the database. So LC stands for Little Cup. If you're playing Little Cup, then this might be useful to you. Middle Cup is like Charmeleon, the middle evolution of a 3-stage. Not fully evolved includes all of that, and anyone that's not evolved fully. FE is the same thing as selecting the fully evolved Pokemon, and then you've got legendary, mythical, pseudo-legendary. The differences here is that, like, for example, Mewtwo and Ho-Oh are legendary, Mew and Celebi are mythical, Dragonite, Metagross are pseudo-legendaries, right? And then we can kind of skip Super for the purposes of this video, since we're on Gen 3, but and also Pokestar is mostly a Gen 5 thing. But like, let's say you want to play OU and you want to know, well, which of these Pokemon are OU? So all you have to do is click on OU here, and it's going to tell you, it's going to highlight all of those Pokemon that are OU that you care about, right? And if you go up here, it'll say 12 resisted for total, all the Pokemon in the Pokédex, but there are 5 match filters. Those 5 Pokemon are Charizard, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Moltres, and Salamence. Those are the 5 Pokemon that are relevant for your metagame. For your metagame that you are playing in, that you care about, that these two moves are resisted. So that's going to be very useful information for you. You can see here that 12 are neutral and then 11 are super effective. So you might say, well, that's pretty good coverage, right? Because at least like over 75% of the shares, like way over 75% of the shares is either neutral or super effective. So that's very, very solid coverage. And more importantly, that there's nothing immune to these typings. Now, this does not include like things like levitate, right? It doesn't include those types of things, or wonder guard. It's not going to include that in this because specifically for pure Hackmons or Hackmons formats, you can hack whatever ability you want on a Pokemon, so that's not going to be very relevant. But just keep that in mind because it is going to show Shedinja, for example, in places where it shouldn't be showing it because we're using Hackmon's rules in this one. So that's the only downside to using this tool for that. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty useful. You can do UU as well. So it's going to show you all the UU Pokemon. You can see there's only one match here, Altaria. So you might say, okay, well, Fire Blast and Earthquake are very solid moves in UU because there's only one Pokemon that actually resists it that's relevant to the metagame. So that's what you can do here. That's in the type coverage checker. And you can actually go to like other generations and let's see, you got Gen 8 here. And we'll do Psychic, Bug, and Dragon, right? So you can see here that it highlights the Pokemon that are, relevant to that metagame. In this case, we're doing UU. But we can also X out of this to just clear that filter. And we do have an ability mode here, which is kind of useful too. Scrappy and Tinted Lens. These are some abilities that existed in certain generations. I think it's Gen 4, where Scrappy hits ghost Pokemon with normal or fighting attacks. And Tinted Lens means that your resist moves deal twice as much damage. So you can actually go to Scrappy mode, for example, right? And so you hit, like, for example, let's go. So we're in Scrappy mode, and you want to hit normal. You can see that nothing is immune anymore because we're in Scrappy mode, right? So that's something that's pretty cool. And then if you want to go to Tinted Lens mode, that's also going to be useful. But just keep in mind there might still be Pokemon that resist because these are Pokemon that are like otherwise quad resistant to normal, but because of Tinted Lens, it is now only 0.5, not 0.25, if that makes any sense. And besides that, we've got another thing here, which is Generation 9. And we've got, well, for Generation 6, 7, 8, 9, and National Dex / Pure Hackmons No Nerfs, we've got some extra filtering here in the form of Flying Press, Freeze Dry, and 1,000 Arrows. Now, I believe that the most coverage you can get from, the most coverage, if you want like 4 moves that are super effective against like the majority of Pokemon in the game, I think it's a combination of Flying Press, Freeze Dry, 1,000 Arrows, and like, I don't know, a Ghost type move. Because look at this, 724 Pokemon in Gen 6 you're super effective against, and only 79 are neutral. So I just thought that was something really fun I'd share. If y'all know of a better 4-move combination that deals more than this, let me know in the comments, y'all. And if you do find something that has better coverage than Flying Press, 1,000 Arrows, Freeze Dry, and a Ghost move, I will Venmo you like $40 as a giveaway, because I can't think of any 4 abilities that will that do anything better than that. So if you can think of 4 moves, 4 types that are better than these 4 categories, join the Discord. Send me a message via DM. My tag is Tireless Golem, and you can find me on the No Nerfs Discord, and let me know so I can Venmo you $40, or PayPal or whatever. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will see y'all in the next one. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I do a bunch of cool stuff on this YouTube channel. It's mostly Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. And I do a lot of Hackmons related stuff as well. And this is my website. So we got a great team on the Discord. We've got a great Pure Hack Mons community on both Smogon as well as on the Discord and on this website. So check it out, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.